Alright, we're ready for the next run. Shantae and the Pirate's Curse by Janglestorm. Have fun with this run.
Alright, hello everybody, welcome to part 2 of the Shantae block. This is Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, and that's the third game in the series, so yeah, I'm gonna give you a bit of that. First of all, I'm gonna check, has the incentive been met for all dark magic, or are we gonna play any percent?
It sadly hasn't been met, so we're gonna play any percent.
Alright, it should be a super fun run. It means super fast pace, and you'll see a lot of stuff happening, so it should be fun times. Okay, I'm gonna select pirate mode. I'm gonna do the countdown, so get ready in 3, 2, 1, go. And that's the start. All right. So in this game, usually we have animal transformations, as you also saw in Risky's Revenge. This is the only game that so far doesn't have them. Instead, we get pirate equipment that we usually gather throughout the game, and this is like a new game plus. So you will be getting all of the pirate equipment from the get-go, and that makes for some very interesting sequence breaks, which we'll be seeing soon enough. But yeah, I'm just already dashing through this area. And just you see me waving my scimitar, and it's pretty fun stuff. So in this room, I'm gonna try and get as many gems as I can. Gonna try and hit some of these guards here. Okay, it wasn't entirely successful, but at least we tried. So we're gonna speed through here. The whole city is in a bit of an uproar because things are happening, and well, I guess we'll soon find out what it exactly is. So first gonna get through here, and just like that. Let's see if I can do menuing here. There we go.
Perfect.
That's one of the items that I do get in the beginning. The other item that you saw was an auto potion, which I hope to never use, but it's a good backup. It does refill my life in case I lose all of it, so that's pretty cool. We do a tiny hop over there, and that skips dialogue. It's a short time save. And as soon as I'm over this bridge, I hope to get some more gems. Oh, there we go, at 20. That's pretty neat. So now we face the Ammo Baron. So what we hope for this in this boss fight is to get the red cannonballs. There we go.
Wow, first one.
That was good RNG so far. So I hope to get nothing but red cannonballs, of course. But
hello, Jangle. What did you do?
I may have to explain what else the Ammo Baron does, because this is just crazy. Okay, this is what the Ammo Baron also does, like just shoot cannonballs. But we hope for the red cannonballs because we can fire those back. And well, as you saw, that's, you know, sometimes making for a very quick fight. It can also ride the tank towards the boxes on the right. And there are moments where the RNG is so that it does that very often, and that can be like an easy 15-second time loss or 10-second or whatnot. Okay, time for some lore. So it turns out that this town has been sold to the Ammo Baron for a box of waxy chocolates, and Shantae, in the meantime, has been grounded, and she got these huge court summons, as you just saw. So not much that she can do right now except head home for the time being.
Oh man, we have to go to court?
Yeah. So yeah, what do you do after such activity? Well,
I'll take a bath.
Take a bathtub, that seems like a good idea. But problem is, she has never, in the entire series, owned a bathtub, and this is also not her bathtub, but a trap tub.
Oh no, it's
And
risky.
Risky Boots has indeed set this trap. So, but she has a few problems of her own, namely these Tinkerbats have been turned into Cacklebats, which are her helpers, or her henchmen, I guess. And so we try to work together in order to defeat all the Cacklebats and basically get all the dark magic. So you'll be seeing an example of that soon enough. I have to do this one fight against this one Cacklebat, and well, then we have to wait until it explodes. There's a lot of explosions in this game, by the way. So now we get this magic lamp, and that allows us to suck in the dark magic, which we will be doing. This is the only instance of dark magic we'll be grabbing because, well, in any percent you don't need to grab the rest. If you would get the full ending, you would get all the dark magic. That would allow you to see the full boss fight at the end. But yeah, this is a little bit shorter. Anyway, now we talk to Sky. We get her library card, which we can borrow in order to gain access to the library elsewhere on Skulltown. But first, we have to save our game.
Oh no, not again.
Yep, it happens. It's a Shantae staple for sure. So we have to do that, and then we're allowed to head out of this town. So I'm gonna do what's called the risky shuffle. It's a pretty cool thing. So what we basically do is we use both of the control pads, both the D-pad and the analog pad, and we basically move to one side and just push the other way with the other stick in order to maintain our momentum, and that allows us to speed up on very small platforms or very small places really. So that's really convenient, and it makes for a lot of the speed tech in this game. Okay, in the meantime, we meet the Squid Baron, who lets us into the sewers. So we have to... Well, we're not gonna go through the entire sewers, I hope. We have to defeat these slugs, and we get them against the ceiling and hope to get flesh pops. Let's see. Yep, I need 3, so that's good. Otherwise, we'd have to travel a little bit further into the sewers, and that's not terribly convenient. So here's already a little bit of a sequence break, because we're not supposed to have the pistol yet to activate that switch. And so we are also not supposed to get that travel brochure. But, you know, this is pirate mode, so anything goes.
It's really nice to have all the items right at the start, because it just really speeds up the game in general. And you can do so much with all the special abilities that you have right now.
It's super fun, yes. Okay, so also a little bit of explanation here. We sent the Squid Baron off on a holiday because he's being tired of being the mid-boss in every single Shantae game. So we give him a break, and in return we get Squid Oil, because reasons.
Or Squid Baron, always the mid-boss.
Yeah, always mid-boss. Alright, so finally we head into the library. Speed into the library, and so we get the court summons that we got earlier on. And so now we can grab our first map item, which we will use to get to other islands. And you'll see that soon enough. So I'm gonna travel back first, break some candles and such, get some gems. So yeah, gem collecting will be definitely a thing in this game. There will be a couple of shopping rounds, and dependent on the item RNG that we get throughout the game, we will be buying certain items, or we may be able to do without certain items that we want to buy. And also, we hit these scarecrows in order to hopefully also get a couple of item drops, like pike balls, even super pike balls could be possible. But hey, there you go.
You actually got one.
That was a really good drop. I'm very happy about that. It's really nice to get that early on. Like, they're not the rarest item drops, but just getting out in the wild like that is pretty much fantastic.
They're just so useful for most of the boss fights.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna do a first shopping round anyway. Traditionally, we're gonna get 3 pirate flares and a super pike ball. It's never a bad thing to have more than one. And with that, we give the forbidden map and we head off onto sea. And we are gonna go to this island, which is called Saliva Island.
That's a bit of a weird name for an island, if you ask me.
It will explain itself, don't worry. very, very soon. Okay, usually every time we get on board, on land, we get this risky shuffle that we do here. We cannot get through there yet. That's a shortcut that we can open pretty soon. I'm saying that, I mean right now. Oh, hey, nice. That's also a really good drop. The bubble shield is an item that makes Shantae able to defend herself against, pistol attacks and such. And we will use that in the final Pirate Master fight, so that will be a very good item to have. Like, it doesn't always drop that early, but it's really nice when it does. So in the meantime, we meet Twitch and Vinegar, who want to have a holiday, and there's one problem. The pool is empty, so that's where we come in action. We get up here, we meet this Gigalummox. We do this in order to skip part of the animation that you see here. But what will Gigalummox do? Well, he opens its mouth and out comes saliva.
Ew.
So that explains the name, Saliva Island. And as you can see, the pool's been filled pretty quickly. and all kinds of things happen, which eventually gives us this Petrify spell. And like many items later on, we will be using that very shortly, so you will be seeing it, and then you will be seeing it being used not too long afterwards. And we'll say goodbye to Twitch and Vinegar, because they're on holiday now.
Enjoy your swim, I suppose.
Yeah. Seems good. Okay, we head down here. We made this old man. His wife got petrified. So we tried to fix that, giving the Petrify spell, so maybe it will get restored. Not really. So I guess they're joined together again, and suddenly the floor drops and they're gone.
F.
This is fine. Anyway, this is actually where we have to go anyway. So this is the first den that we go to. This is the Spittle Maze. First off, we're gonna go here, which is kind of a secret entrance, I guess. And this looks very retro-like. And this is indeed the Game Boy Color Shantae that you see here. It's a literal homage, and it's the first dungeon of that game. It's very faithfully reproduced. And what we basically do here is we get a couple of keys, which we will be able to use later on. Fun part of these keys is that you can use them pretty much everywhere on in whichever den or whatever place you're at. So it's useful everywhere, which is really nice. Also some gem collecting, also useful for later on. And we got these Wetman. Goodbye, Wetman. Okay, finishing up our round, we get through here. And this is the second key that we get. And in order to get out of here really quickly, we just do a death abuse. Gets us back here. Well, it's not really death abuse, it's taking a hit there. Okay, in this room I hope to get an item, hopefully. Monster Milk, please? No.
Ah, that's too bad.
There's a small chance that they drop a Monster Milk, which would be useful elsewhere in this dungeon, but apart from that, they either drop gems or food items such as the meat chunklet or something like that. Okay, making our way further up here. This is where we also start using the pistol, if I do this right. There we go. It's a narrow spot. And this is also the den where you do actually wind up getting the pistol, so you wind up using here too. So now it's time for a mini boss. We fight these two wet men. Mostly downward stab them and try to keep them in the same corner. That's a bit more effective that way. Otherwise it's a bit of a longer fight. But for now I guess I'll just downward stab.
I feel like they're pretty well done, actually. I didn't even know you could just kill one of them first real quick.
Yeah, it's a very nice, handy little way of doing that. Okay, and now for the, I guess, real first boss, if you don't count the Ammo Baron. Because now we have this one-eyed plant called the Cyclops plant. Frighteningly fixated, as you can see. So, yeah, it's gonna be 2 phases. And as I say that, I completed the first phase, so on to phase 2, I guess. And I gotta stand here, and hopefully this goes right. Oh, it heads that way first, that's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna use both my cannon and my downward stab in order to deal with this really quickly. Oh, okay, went that way, that's fine. It's a couple more hits. Ideally, you would be able to take out the Cyclops plant in this phase before it starts standing in the corner and shooting lasers, but apart from that, this is still relatively okay, I guess. Alright, that's the first boss down.
And what do we get?
What do we get? So, there are actually Tinkerbats. Not everyone has been turned into a Cacklebat, it seems. And those Tinkerbats give us maps, in this case, the Spiderweb Island map. And with that said, we're just gonna head out of here. Just gonna fly over this hard squid. We don't need hard squids in this category. And back to the ship. So yeah, this is basically how every island will go. I get there, I will do things, and then head back to the ship and on to the next island. Aside from a few exceptions. Speaking of which, we're now at Spiderweb Island, and this is gonna be a fun one. Very, very soon.
Trust me,
and
everyone loves this.
And not just because of the spiders. There's also zombies. So just gonna pass all of them and head up here. Hopefully I don't get hit by the ghosts, because they can appear in certain places that you want to go there and then suddenly you get knocked down really badly. So I have to watch out for that. In the meantime, this is another sequence break. We're not supposed to be able to use the cannon yet, but we can do so now. Getting this fossil right away, and we will be using that later in the side quest. First though, we will be heading up here. There's even more ghosts. Hi ghosts. And we head over here. So what is over here? Hey, it's Roddytops. Captured by Spider.
She's already dead though.
Yeah, she's already dead. But anyway, we free her, and then she says she's coming down with something, so we have to bring her back to her brother Abner, and that starts this wonderful sequence called Run Run Roddytops. Everyone's favorite.
I love this part. And then I started speedrunning.
A fair sentiment. So you get all of these stake hands and everything. It's... Oh, okay, I never died there apparently. That's fine. But yeah, it's basically a sort of escort mission, semi-auto-scroller, you name it. We just have to get through here and get out of here as fast as possible. But this will take a couple of minutes, so enjoy the music.
Ah, YOLO didn't work out.
Yeah, the tongue can be mean sometimes. Usually what I try to do there is get myself in between there, fall down there, but you have to stop at literally the right moment, and if you can't quite do that, it's really hard to manage that still. So I'm just gonna stand here, just to make sure it doesn't last much longer than necessary. Okay, let's see if I can do this then. Okay, that's set up for... Well, I hope that's set up for a tiny manipulation there. Okay, now we just have to wait for these doors to open and close again, so it's going to be a pretty lengthy stretch. So nice, and that's probably a good time for donations or any other info if you have them.
Well, we actually have a couple donations. The first one is from Recall247, donating €4 saying, "My body is so powerful, I need to use more than normal shell, and Allspice probably should cover my powerful body."
Oh.
We also have a €20 donation from Janglestorm Home Team, simply saying, "The Janglestorm Home Team again."
Thank you, home team.
And we also have a €5 donation from Hab Kinda Name. "Don't really want to interrupt, so I let host do that. Good luck, Jangle, and to all still a nice event. Also, I really like Ruby's dancing dress and how she complains that she can't fight in heel in the show, so the money will go there."
Thank you so much. So yeah, I had a bit of a few rough spots there, but usually it's nothing compared to what we get here, because you now have tombstones with these tiny crabs that are underneath, and we have to sort of try and see where they appear so that we won't accidentally jump into them. So, okay, that was so far so good. I'm just gonna take a save here. Ooh, that was a stick jump.
Very safe right there.
That's totally safe. This also safe. Stick jumps. Yellow. Anyway. Now we got robots who try to smooch me, because that's also a thing.
We're just gonna ignore the fact that you quite literally jumped into the hands and nothing happened.
Yeah, nothing did happen. That's the main thing.
Oh. Alright, go to runner.
Yeah, things happen pretty fast now. Like, you see robots, and this is not even the end. It's literally not even the end.
But wait, there's more.
There's more. Now we're getting some good progress here, regardless. Just gonna jump in here, jump back, etc. Okay, this is pretty much part 1, I would say. It feels like it's part 1. Part 2 is not as long though, so I'm not sure if it's equally long, but if it would have been equally long otherwise, but nah. Anyway, now we have these creatures shooting things. Let's just say we call them Stevens. Hi, Stevens. Nice to see you here.
Goodbye, Stevens. We're gonna dodge you.
Well, yeah, we hope to do that. Let's see. Okay, door's closed. That's too bad. Okay, I have to wait for that one. Ooh, will I get through? Oh, this is super finicky.
Oh my god.
Oh boy. Okay, let's do this. Okay, that was the taco jump, by the way. Shoutouts.
Perfect.
And this is the last room, so let's hope I don't screw up here, because this is the longest, or one of the longest rooms at least. And yeah, if I screw up here, I'm gonna lose a lot of time. So let's hope that won't happen. I'm hoping to take it as safely as possible. I just have to wait. Then wait some more. Okay. So far, so good. Now this part. This can also be very tricky at the very last moment, but okay, we made it through.
Good job.
Okay.
I always mess up that part. I don't even know why.
It's a very tricky part. It's pretty difficult to do right. Like, if you want to do this flawlessly, then it might take a few tries to get through. But
yeah, that achievement was kind of rough to get.
Okay, so now we brought Roddy Tubbs home to her brother Abner, and it turns out she wasn't sick, so yeah. Anyway, we brought her home, and that's all that counts. So now we pay a visit to Poe, who is Abner's brother, and he has this really nice wagon, except it's broken down. And this is where we get the squirt oil and give it to him, so he can fix it up and take it for a ride again. Which also means we don't have to redo that whole Roddy Tubbs sequence again, thankfully.
This is the best brother.
Literally the best brother. And we take it for a spin and for a ride, and it's all nice. And we get this shriveled thing, which is really great. So great that they have to tell us that it smells.
And you can't skip it.
You can't skip it. It's that great. You have to know that it smells. Okay, with that said, it's about time we head over here. We just passed this den, and we get the shriveled thing in order to gain access to the Cackle Tower. That's going to be our next goal. So there we go. Looks pretty spooky. Just gonna head down here, and there's gonna be lots of skeletons up soon, and I hope to get some good item drops from them. So yeah, fingers crossed. Let's see, anyone? Okay, there's one pike ball. That's pretty nice. Sometimes they drop super pike balls too, which is even better. But yeah, you gotta be lucky with that. Artem RNG is definitely a huge factor in pretty much any of the Shantae runs, but especially the 80% run, I would say. So we head into this room, mainly to get another key. You don't necessarily have to get the key from this location, but it's a pretty standard location to get it from. And also gives us a chance to get another item drop like the Super Pike Ball. So that looks pretty good so far. I'm very happy about that. All right, heading over here. They're totally fine, don't worry about them. They just take us places. And yeah, thanks to the cannon and to the hats and pretty much everything, we are now able to get up this tower, which otherwise would only be possible if we activated the wind machine. And we would have only used the hat to get up there, but we have other means of getting up there, so that's pretty nice. All right, and now we got these dragon heads again. They were in other Shantae games before as well. You see them a couple of times, like over here. I have to watch out for these spikes. They pretty much are, well, yeah, I say instant death, but they send you to the beginning of the screen again, so there's that risk at least. Okay, so this is the first boss where we will be using the Super Pike Ball. And you will see soon why that is, because, it's this circle of protection around me. And what I tried to do with this spider is I tried to get in its hitbox, and I tried to get hit so I can reset the amount of cannonballs that I can fire off, which is not always something I'm terribly good at, and I'm actually close to losing my health. So I might take it a little bit easier, hopefully. Let's see. But ideally, you would be able to do this entire fight with nothing but getting yourself stuck there, and that can make for some very fast fights. But I want to see if I can keep my auto potion. If it doesn't help, then too bad, but... Let's see...
Should be, yeah.
There we go.
That's close.
So yeah.
The auto potion is too valuable to actually lose right here.
Yeah, if I would have lost another piece of heart, then I would have used my auto potion. And I guess for marathon safety at least it's good to have, so yeah, I'm glad about that. It wasn't the fastest fight, as I said, but gave you a bit of a glimpse what I would have liked if I were able to pull it off. Okay, we got another map, so I guess it's time to travel again. And while we get outside, we start using the pirate flares. So It's basically fireworks. They send you back to the ship again very quickly, so that's a very natural time save. And throughout the game, I try to collect a certain amount, pretty much according to every island I visit and every place I go to. So now we are at 10 Line Island. It will be a short visit at first. I will be getting back here later on. But first, let me show you a bit of the sites, where we get monster milk sometimes, and I hope for some other items too. But that was pretty good. Also, pretty good music here as well. I mean, the entire game and the entire Shantae series has excellent music, it must be said, but yeah, this is one of the many, many bangers.
I mean, the best one is obviously Run Run Roddy Tops, right?
It's yeah, it's pretty epic. It does do things to that sequence for sure. Yeah. All right. So we meet the Square Baron again, who was on holiday and who gave us the extra specs. He wasn't quite happy on holiday, but we cheer him up, and as a thanks, we get those extra specs, which I guess, will be using eventually. But first we do some backtracking, mostly to get ourselves some money that we need for our second shopping round. And also some other things, but you'll see that soon enough. Oh, that was interesting. There we go. I do wonder what that item drop was, though. I was almost curious enough to check it out. Anyway, we go up here, and this is where we will be grabbing some jars, and those will give us money. So we needed a minimum of 155 in order to do our next shopping round, and that will get us, well, 3 additional pirate flares and also a super monster milk, which is pretty much one of the rarest drops in the game, I guess. One of the most cherished items for at least the second half of the game. So in order to ensure that we have at least one of them, we get that. Okay, with that said, it's time to head back to Skull Town. Let's see what's happening over here. They're busy renovating the town. And we see Barracuda Joe over on the right. Someone bringing in this mummy case or coffin. And they tried to read it, and they shouldn't have done it, perhaps, because Rip Joe.
You know, a lot of people seem to disappear or die in this game all of a sudden.
There's a lot of petrification in this game, yes.
I'm
yes.
kind of worried.
It will be fine, though. He'll live again. Don't worry. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna do my next shopping round, buying the items that I just mentioned. And with this brief detour, it's time to head back to 10 Line Island, where we are gonna head further in and gonna do things. Because I'm pretty sure there's more out there. Maybe some more items. Maybe some more... Oh, bubble shield. Nice.
Oh
what? I only need 2 bubble shields at most. Come on. This would have been perfect for other categories, but damn. Okay. Anyway, more skeletons. I hope to get some more pike balls at least, or super pike balls would be all nice. But yeah, we grabbed this enchanted blade, also an item that we will be using for side quest later. But first we head back here. Hope to get another super pike ball. That would be nice. Yeah, there we go. So we're pretty good on that front, at least. So we got 3 mummy sketches now, and those form a combination. In this case, fish, line, bird, or if you abbreviate it, FLB. So we're gonna remember that for a brief moment. Just gonna head over here. As you just saw nearby the temple, there was this combination that you could fill out, and yes, this is where we are gonna use fish, line, bird. So let's see what we can do here. That's not a fish. That's a fish. That's a lion. And that's a bird. Well,
No, it's a fish.
It was a bird, though. It was a bird. So now we go into this temple, where we are being greeted by this king, who was like, hey, our princess is back. So in order to set up celebrations, they hold me captive here for a while, and we have to escape. So there's this stealth-like mission, which oftentimes is referred to as Metal Gear Shantae. And basically, we try not to get caught by those guards. So just gonna try and make it through here as quickly as possible. There are some more advanced ways of speeding us up, such as whipping your hair at exactly the right moment with that second guard. It's pretty tricky, though, and it's still not without risk. So I'm just gonna try and play it safe here. Just gonna wait here. Get up this chain here. Some of these parts can be pretty scary, but we'll see how it goes. We got a key, and we out over here. Oh, that was an early jump.
Oh, that sucks.
Yep, that happens, and that sucks because yeah, that's basically the last guard room that I have to go through, and getting caught there really costs you a lot of time. So that was really unfortunate. So I think instead I might want to see if I can play it a little bit safer, perhaps if I can get there like right away. We'll see about it. So in the meantime, it's probably a good time for donations if you have any.
Well, I do want to talk about one of the upcoming incentives. Of course, we have the bonus run for Barney. If we reach 4,000 euros halfway through the marathon, and well, you can. Every donation will go towards that automatically. And also, if you do that, you will always also be eligible for a couple of prizes that we're giving away, including the big prize throughout the event, which is worth about like 300 euros. And every single donation is eligible for that. It doesn't matter if it's a big or a small amount. So even the small amounts matter, and they all add up eventually.
Right, we're almost through. Normally speaking, I would jump over this one too, but just to be safe, I'm gonna do it this way anyway. Otherwise, I would have done that. I usually get that right, but just to be safe. And yeah, like I said, every time you get caught there's basically like up to a minute of time waste, so it's probably for the best. Anyway, turns out I'm not the only princess there who got recognized as such. Seems like all of my other friends and foes and whatnot also got captured here. So we saw Risky Boots over there. Now we see Sky, who I guess needed a break from all the drama surrounding Barracuda Joe. Then we head down here. So any guesses? Who could it be? It's Roddy Tops.
Roddy Tops.
Of course, because Roddy Tops.
Everyone loves Roddy Tops.
She's everywhere. She's everywhere. All right. So now we have this massive rope because, of course, for a relatively small door, I must say. I mean, it works, I guess, but anyway. Hey, there it is again. So turns out that's the actual princess, and she went shopping for 30 minutes, and apparently that's a long time. So glad we got that solved. So now we can escape. All right. So we got this golden pickaxe, which we're gonna hand over here, so that they can use it to break down that wall. It's a pretty big wall, as you could see, and a little bit of extra help wouldn't hurt. And now suddenly enemies, and they're like, oh no! And they head off again. Good time for us to see what our inventory is. Looks good. Ideally, you would have 4 super pike balls and 4 super monster milks. I didn't quite get that, but thankfully there's still enough opportunity to still get some more of that. So we're gonna see if I can fix that somehow. Oh, oops. Okay, get off my way. There we go. If I were really low on items, I would grind items from these Scorp Gals over here, because they have a good chance of dropping either a Super Pike Ball or Super Monster Milk. So it's definitely worth a try if you have that situation. So, in the meantime, we are now in the Catacombs. And we get another Bubble Shield. That's like my 5th, I think. And we take this key route, which kind of started out as an alternate key route, but I've been kind of doing it since because it's a nice opportunity to get an extra super item such as a Super Monster Milk. So yeah, that's why I do it over here instead of much later on in well, in the area close to the end of this game. So that's pretty cool. Okay, just have to break through all of these blocks. This is a bit of a gauntlet, you could say. Features these tiny creatures and then this mantis. It can be super deadly, by the way. You shouldn't underestimate this enemy. It can be pretty bad. Okay, that wasn't quite the item drop that I wanted. Okay, that's another super pipe ball, so I guess I'm good in that front. That's good. So 3, 4. Will I get this? Might be good.
This is gonna be a close one, I think.
That was so close.
Barely off.
I was trying to set it up so that I could do a 1 cycle there through this stage, but yeah, you have to sort of. What we basically do is crawl and then count the amount of times that our butt shakes. I'm not kidding, and then move around and yeah, and then see if I can get through that, but sadly didn't quite get there. Anyway, we meet the Squid Baron again.
Mid-boss.
Yeah, he's the mid-boss once again. Let's see what he has in store for us. So he's just gonna jump around a bit. We try to get nearby. We don't try to get hit, of course. And having the super items should be making this quite easy and quite quick. But wait, there's 2.0.
He's evolving.
Evolving, yes, the newer version of Squid Baron. So what does this do? Let's see. Oh, I do prefer it when the Squid Baron starts eating right away, like it does over there. But that wasn't quite working out, but that's still okay. Also, yeah, thanks to the super items, that was a pretty quick fight. Like, the Pike Balls do give me the protection, of course, and the Monster Milk does increase my hair whipping attack, so both do their duty in making this a very fast fight. Alright. And after that, Squid Baron realizes that he's actually more than perfectly fine with being the mid-boss again, so his Crisis of Swords has been restored, so that's good for him. And we are out of here. So goodbye to 10-Line Island. Okay, so now we get the map to Mudbug Island. We are not gonna get there like right away, but we're gonna do a brief detour because we got a few items that we need to exchange in order for some other things perhaps. So let's see. We have this fossil that we got from Spiderweb Island. We got these X-ray specs from the Squid Baron on 10-Line. And we get the Death Mask. And you think, Death Mask. Okay. But that will be our access into a village on Mudbug Island, so yeah, that should be good. Alright, so with that we head back, and it's pretty spooky. It's actually a pretty tough part to get through casually, because there's lots of enemies suddenly appearing out of nowhere. Thankfully in park mode it's made a bit easier because you can just dash through everything, and it's quite a bit more of a breeze, thankfully. You still have to coordinate it accordingly and still make sure that you get everywhere without really bumping your head too much. So just like that. Sometimes what I try to do there is call them momentumless boots. If I would... oh, okay, nice. Still showing its tricks. But anyway, if I would have jumped there at the right moment, I would have been able to keep my dash, and that would have been making me able to get through there just in a very speedy fashion, so that's pretty cool. It's pretty specific, but if you get it, it's nice. Anyway, so here we give the Death Mask in order to get access to the Village of Lost Souls. So that's gonna be where we're heading next. Right, some more dashing. Central thing to this is we collect a couple of coins, 3 in total, 3 colored coins, and we will be using those against a group called the Coin Gamers, and that will be a game of heads and tails where we hope to get the right combination the first time around, but as you can tell it's very RNG heavy, so we'll just hope for the best, I guess. Also, if I would have gotten food items here, I would have been able to skip the animations picking up these items by selecting the food item and then eating the food item whilst I'm hovering above the item, and that overrides the animation, and that would have saved me a couple of seconds each time, which is pretty nice. Okay, some more scary areas here. Just gonna hit this wall for extra monies, you never know. Although I think I'm pretty good otherwise. I only need 2 more Pirate Flares at most. Otherwise I'm pretty good, but I might want to check soon and see if I have enough Monster Milks as such, but I think it's fine. All right, heading back over here. This room can be pretty spooky, no pun intended, because it's a small room, and if you get surrounded by these ghosts, you can lose life pretty quickly, and there's a relative lack of iframes, which also makes this pretty difficult. Anyway, heads or tails? Let's see what is announced to.
Pretty useless minigame, honestly.
Yeah, it sort of breaks it up a little bit. Thankfully, it doesn't go on forever. If I guess it wrong 3 times, it does give me the right answer the 4th time around. I think this was the 3rd time, so it wasn't entirely the worst, but yeah, still, it could have been faster if they gave it to me, say, the 1st time. So, a bit of an item exchange. We get this hopeful flame, nicely named. So now we head back up here where we got the 2nd coin, and turns out there is this place where we can use the flame. And there's this card saying, okay, here we go, and it gives us the Manly Musk. Also, yeah, this game has many, many smells, as you may have noticed. This is only one of them. And they're very useful. Like, we will be using them to get to places like this next den, for instance. It's got a beautiful name, this den. This is the Oubliette of Suffering. It's also a level where we will be skipping a lot of the content, I guess, because this is where you, normally speaking, get your boots, which allow you to dash. Of course, we get it from the beginning, so the main thing that you wind up learning here has already been there from the get-go, so that will skip pretty much the majority of what you would otherwise get through. So that's pretty sweet. So instead of having to align everything and do a long dash, we just do this. How about that?
That was pretty fast.
Thank you. So, okay, safety save here, because the next boss can be a bit of a meanie. It's been the occasional run kill, I guess, in general. But I think it should be fine. We just have to be careful.
Just a dragon, right? What could go wrong?
Well, except it's a Dagron.
Oh, wait, what?
It's misspelled. Intentionally. All right, let's see. What will we have here? Okay, I don't have quite all of the monster milks, but I guess I can get another one later on. I just have to make sure that I don't stand in its way too much, and I can strike it down before it goes up again, so I can do all of these hits. And you really have to be careful about where you stand, because it can be a bit of a tricky situation.
Yeah,
and
it goes faster every time.
It goes faster too. And of course that was the last hit. But anyway. Dagron down. Lots of explosions.
How? You hit it with a whip and some spikes.
It looks cool. I don't know, explosions look cool, I guess.
Can't argue with that.
Anyway. Now that we've got that down, it's time to pick up the next map. It's quite a different place. It's not really hot necessarily. It's, in fact, very cold. But first we have to get out of here, because you can't use the pirate flare indoors, and this village apparently is indoors. And we got this lost soul. We will be finding out eventually who it belongs to, so if you have any guesses, feel free. We've lost a couple of people due to petrification, so maybe the hint is there. I wonder too. Okay, and this is where we can use it. Still doesn't look like we're outside, but I guess it's outside enough to use it, so that's fine. All right. Time for some other adventures in other places. So this is basically a two-parter. You have Frostbite Island, but we will eventually head to Propeller Town, which of course is up in the sky, as you may have already seen. So yeah, that's gonna be a thing. So we got all these werewolves. Don't underestimate them. They're very, very dangerous, especially with only 2 hearts. They take 1.5 heart every single time they hit you. So especially if you don't have an auto potion, it can be a very, very tricky situation. Sometimes I do hit them because they have a chance of, well, they do sometimes drop a super pipe ball, but they have the opportunity of dropping a super monster milk sometimes, which is especially great, but it doesn't happen too often, sadly. Would have been nice. nice thing about hitting multiple enemies is that eventually the slowing down animation decreases, so eventually it doesn't really slow you down as much anymore, which is nice. Okay, here we are. It's time to climb up very, 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 very high. Like I said, it's very high. So welcome to Propeller Town. We will be doing a lot of dashing here because there's lots of outstretched platforms and such. So we will be using the newly acquired quote-unquote dash very, very often. Like in areas like these. Normally speaking, we're supposed to hang on to these chains, but we don't have to. We got everything we need, so no worries about that. Okay, there we go. Just getting ourselves up here. Slowly getting through here. Again, spikes and ice physics also. So I stopped myself there briefly in order to make sure that I'm able to activate the risky boots and the risky shuffle. Hi, robots. See, the smooching robots are back. How about that?
I missed them.
Yeah, me too. Well,
Not
maybe,
too much.
maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
They're gone again anyway.
Yeah, it was brief. It was brief, but I guess it was nice seeing them again. Question mark. Anyway, we're almost done with Propeller Town. It's a pretty brief stay here. We're just gonna head down here, and then to our surprise, there's Bolo, who appears to be working with the enemy, and he gives us this targeting module. And what is the deal behind this all, Bolo? I want to know.
Traitor.
Traitor. Okay, backtracking part, well, 2, I guess. So we head back to Spiderweb Island. We have something concerning a lost soul, and who better to ask about a lost soul than a dead person, I guess. So we head back to Abner and Roddy Tops. First time we get to take this ride again, which is nice.
You know, for a dead horse, that actually goes pretty well.
Yeah, they have skills. They have skills, for sure. All right. So, who does this belong to? We're about to find out. Ready? It's a Spirit of Joe, including the Joe stash. Because mustaches.
How else would you know it's him?
Yeah, it makes it very distinctly a Joe soul, for sure.
Also a free pirate flare.
Yeah, because we gave the death mask, and that gives us an extra pirate flare, which otherwise we wouldn't have gone here. So that's pretty sweet. Okay, it's time to head back to Scuttletown. I'm gonna check stuff here, because I do have enough for one pirate flare. I'm gonna check if I have enough for monster milk. No, I don't. So what I'm gonna do is buy one of these and buy one of these. So I'm gonna, normally speaking, I would buy 2 pirate flares, but since I don't have enough, I'm gonna take the sacrifice and do the backtracking from the next den to the ship just by dashing. It's a very short round anyway, so it's a very short run anyway, so we don't have to worry about anything too much. So if there's anything I could do, that is definitely one of the things. Alright, so now we got this sword, which we got in 10 Line Temple, this blade, and we will be giving it to this person, who will then turn into the legally distinct He-Man, aka Branson.
Definitely not He-Man.
Definitely not He-Man. Also, shoutouts to the Nutbuster. For reasons. That worked out pretty well. Alright, let's finally give back the soul to Joe and see if their engagement can carry on again. Because that's what everyone's been waiting for. But Joe's like, nah, I'm liking being single, so he wanders off.
And Sky was single yet
Yeah,
again.
yeah, sad stuff. So now we give the module. So Bolo gave it to us. Seems like it hasn't been entirely programmed well, because it was aimed for the castle elsewhere, yeah, on Scuttletown or Island, but instead it got here. I guess it's a happy accident overall, because this is actually where we need to go next. So yeah, let's go. it's actually pretty close to where we started off. So yeah, like I said, normally speaking, I would use the Pirate Flare there if I had enough money, but I didn't, so I'm just gonna do this the other way around too. All right, so now we are in the abandoned factory. It's gonna be another short stay, really. Also, especially because there's one key that I picked up in the catacombs that I'm not gonna pick up here, which doesn't basically mean much significantly in terms of speed, but the catacombs one, like I said, of course, gives you an extra opportunity for super items. So that's what I actually usually go for anyway. But that gives us all of the keys. Now we just have to break open a couple of blocks here. And this is the final key of the game. So, thank you, keys. Make sure not to get hit by the ice cube. That has been a thing in the past that has happened before. I cannot recommend it.
Something about insta... Well, getting you back to the start, I guess. Not an insta-kill, but...
Yeah, it's very insta. Let's put it that way. All right, now RNG the boss, the Steel Maggot. Let's see how this goes. First of all, we're going to use this bubble shield in order to protect ourselves against these bullets. It's a very handy tool, actually. Okay, that was good. And now we're going to use our other items in order to do the rest, really. Gonna get behind it. If I were really able to time it well, I would be able to bounce off the ceiling and do so-called pogo strats. So maybe I will be able to do those later on. Okay, that wasn't quite the right combination, so it's gonna be 1-3. There we go. Okay, now let's see if I can do it. Would be nice. Oh, missed it. Okay, that's fine. Next round. There we go. Not quite the pogo strats. Should be another 2-cycle though. Still fine.
I think this one is mostly a 2-cycle if you hit it correctly.
Yeah, mostly if you do have at least a super pike ball and, well, either the monster milk or the super monster milk. So yeah, usually you do prefer to have the super monster milk for obvious reasons, but with the regular monster milk, you're still able to do a 2-cycler, so this should still be good. And especially if you do the pogo strats, like I mentioned, you do a downward stab whilst bouncing off against the ceiling. That speeds up things even more, and that might make it even faster in certain occasions.
There is a chance to get a 1-cycle with the pogo strat and all the super items.
Yeah, precisely. All right, so we got the map, we head back. Got one more thing to do, and I guess our mission then is done. So we head over to this lonely grave, and that might solve all of our troubles, also Risky's. Seems like this might be what she's looking for. Also, bird.
No, the bird.
But oh no. Stuff happens.
Ooh,
the
evil.
Pirate Master. And yeah, it seems like we have some more things to do before we finally get to the ending. So we now have to rescue Risky Boots from the Pirate Master and got taken back to Skull Town. So let's moist the main snail and head back there.
Pirate Shantae on duty.
Yes, indeed. Okay, well, we do have all of the items that we need, so that's all good. Got some bubble shield and got both super items, so that's all pretty awesome. Now we just have to make sure to avoid literally everything here. We can do this. There we go. Nice hop over. Saves us some animations slowdown time. Because they did they closed the wall again, so you had to get through it again. So that would have cost me a little bit of time. Alright, it's time for a tower climb, but this is also a fun one. It's a bit precise in terms of inputs that I have to do here, but allows me to skip a couple of these trials, I guess, that you would normally speaking have to do. So in any category that you do, it's actually really convenient. Although I think out of bounds it's actually different, but yeah, that was a bit too fast. Especially the cannonballs, you have to time pretty precisely, but I think this is fine. One more. There we go.
Perfect.
Well, that's pretty good. Also a couple of extras that you could do there. Also a nice fun challenge. All right, I'm gonna save before the Pirate Master. You never know. I'm just gonna be sure of that.
You still have your auto potion though, so that's a really
I have my other potion, but just in case. It would be too bad if I would have to redo this from the Dagron again. All right, so now it's time for the final fight against the Pirate Master. So, gonna be a couple of rounds. I'm gonna say right away, time will be as soon as I deal the last hit, so that will be coming up pretty shortly. In the meantime, let's hope for some good RNG whilst I try to deal with this boss. Just gonna walk around here, hopefully get this right. Okay. Okay, and now these platforms arise and another phase starts. Oh, okay. See, the Pirate Master can be pretty mean in that respect. Like, it does a lot of damage, and especially if you're without Bubble Shield, this can be a really tough one. All right, get ready, and time.
Yeah, 4 damage when you only have 8 health is a bit very strong.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm glad that went well. Better save the story, I guess. All right. So yeah, that's an ending, I would say. It's not the full ending. If you would collect all of the dark magic at the very least, you would be able to do another boss fight. Well, it's more rounds of the Pirate Master, basically. And that would eventually lead to Shantae being... well, she didn't have her genie powers, and then she gets her genie powers back, so that's pretty cool. But this is still an ending, so I guess for the time being, it's still all's well that ends well. So the last thing we're gonna do before we wrap up is see what the in-game time is in true spirit. And first, we got this lovely credits and more music, always a good thing. Jay Kaufman, what a pro.
A quick shout out to the voice actors of Shantae.
Christina V.
Wonderful person.
She's done a lot of work, and yeah, also the voice of Shantae. So yeah, absolutely shout outs. Okay, let's see what the endgame time is. 51:40, and I saw 54:41 real time. That's pretty decent considering that I lost some time at the 10-line tempo. So I'll definitely take that. All right, so let's see if we can head back to the main music. There we go. All right. Okay, yeah, so that's Shantae and the Parts Curse and the conclusion of the Shantae block. I hope everybody enjoyed. This is a super fun speedrun. Both are super fun speedruns for sure. And if you want to learn the Shantae game, be sure to check out the Way Forward speedrunning community on Discord. It's full of people who are more than willing to help out with whatever question you have. So yeah, be sure to do that. Yeah, thanks everybody at home and over here for watching and donating and stuff. Super much appreciated. It's been a blast doing this again. Also, thanks to Kiara for commentary.
You're welcome.
And yeah, be sure to keep donating. And yeah, good luck with the rest of the marathon and with the next run. So that's it for me. Thanks for having me. Take care.